What's poppin', knights? It's Hokage, and after a long break of me dealing with other people's relationship issues, my own life, the army, and other stuff, I gotta say that I'm back for the meantime. I'm excited for it until I go to the army. Then I'm gonna be gone for about 6 months again. But hey, you know, the bright side. I'm here now, right? All right, so first things first, I wanna get through a few things. Ooh. It never ends. Whenever I record, I get texted. It never ends. Okay, so yeah, first things first, I wanna get through some things. But you know what I gotta do? I come to you with another exciting part two. What if the Uzumaki clan survived? Alright, so it's great to go through that part again. It's so much fun to do. So what I gotta tell y'all here, I'm going to re-upload the last Goku, Vegeta, Naruto, Sasuke part because a lot of people can't see it and YouTube won't help me fix it. It's been a month and the problem still persists. So I'm going to go and re-upload that, cut out the visual part where they copyrighted it from. Like legit, it was a 30-second clip of Itachi using Mangekyo, using the Tsukiyomi. That's it. That's all the clip was, and that's what took the video down, why I think over 1,000 of y'all can't see it. So I'm sorry about that. Hopefully this will fix the issue and it won't come back. Second enough, my best friend, I'm not gonna say his real name, but his name on YouTube is Fat. My best friend Fat is going to take care of this stuff while I'm going for the next 6 months. I'm going to pre-record a whole bunch of chapters for y'all so that you're not left out the blue or left out the loop and you don't get no content. So at least you'll have some for, I'm perceiving 3 months. If he does weekly, if he does bi-weekly, it'll be the whole 6 months. So whatever you prefer, let me know down in the comments if you want the weekly stuff and be out 3 months, or the bi-weekly stuff, you know, have to wait a little bit longer for content, but then you get, you know, the whole month fish and I come back and it'll be like nothing ever happened. But I feel like I've talked your ears off long enough. So I think it's time that we get into it. Woo!
Whoa. I'm about to go call me a brick, crushing your whole little shit. Whoa. Mars so cold, I pull up on cop with the blow. Now I'm like, whoa. She a brick on the low, now she wanna suck on my toes. And I'm like, whoa. You the bummy asshole, now you wanna sit on my throne. Nope. Bitch, I'm the king in the house so cold. Pull up on a nigga with a 9-no coat. Spray air, pray that the picture go. Kill me a nigga with a Bible poem. She say stop, don't go no more. Well, she my queen, can't treat her wrong. We don't fuck on, we just run on like my dog, bro. We don't slow up. Rundy, now she wanna fuck me, now she wanna hold me down like a Duffy. I can see her, my shotgun gun don't let me run. I'm a demon, I'm a beast, no I can't stop, I'll spin. Whoa, hey, bitch, I'm the king of this shit.
I can't not lie, I missed having this energy. All right, let's get into it. So we pick up right where we left off. The Chunin exams begin. First round, Zaku versus Nozomi. And Zaku jumps down, ready to fight. And Nozomi's about to jump down as well, but Naruto grabs her arm. Nozomi, are you sure about this? We don't know what that mark is. We should tell big bro Itachi. Nozomi turns around to face Naruto when Itachi is curious for the reason why she hasn't jumped down yet. But Sasuke steps in between the two, knowing what's going on, doing his best to distract Itachi, telling him about their journey through the forest of death. And Itachi's listening to his little brother intently, interested in what he has to say. And Nozomi speaks to Naruto. No, don't tell Itachi, please. I want to fight. And if Itachi knows something about this, he'll call off the match for me and Sasuke, and I'm not going to be left behind. Plus, I can beat this guy, I know it. Naruto activates his Fumingan and stares her down. Your chakra signature, it's usually a bright and brilliant red, but now it's faded, with hints of purple. Purple that's similar to that guy, the guy who attacked us. As you and Sasuke are now, I don't think you can use your chakra. You'll accelerate the curse. Nozomi smiles. Oh, is that all you're worried about? My taijutsu and shuriken jutsu are just as good as Sasuke. Plus, my opponent is injured. I can take him, don't worry about me or Sasuke. We'll tell Itachi when we win. That's a promise. Nozomi then holds her fist out to Naruto with a giant smile on her face, and Naruto forces the smile on his own, holding his fist out towards hers shakily, still worried about her health in this fight. But then they give each other a fist bump, and she tells him not to worry one more time. As she jumps down, Naruto sighs, but then he notices a chakra signature. that sends chills down his spine. He's standing next to Dosu and Kin. Naruto walks over to Sasuke and Itachi and then leans into Sasuke's ear and tells him, "Don't look." But that sound, Jonin, is the same person who attacked us in the forest. He's standing across from us. Sasuke whispers "what" back in Naruto's ear in an agitated voice. Naruto's about to explain, but the round begins and they both turn their attention to it. Nozomi stands before her opponent as he takes one arm out of his sling. You fought Naruto after a full day of fighting, and it was 3-on-1. Do you really think you can win with one arm? You need to forfeit, Zaku. Zaku growls in frustration. You may have gotten me and Dosu by surprise last time, but now I'm itching for revenge. Zaku points his arm at her. Nozomi then grabs 6 kunai and throws them in the air as quick as she could. They're above Zaku's air blast. As she's hit with that air blast, she's knocked with her back against the wall, and Zaku is screaming in pain, being stabbed in both of his feet by 2 kunai, and Nozomi smiles. My dad is the right hand to the Hokage, and the greatest wind style user in the village. Compared to him, yours is a light breeze. She spits up blood, and Itachi in the stand smiles. Impressive. She must have been training with both her parents. Letting herself get hit to cover for an attack. That's exactly her mother's technique. Nozomi then wipes the blood from her face and looks at the proctor, Hayate, telling him to call the match. She already won. Hayate refuses, saying her opponent is still standing. So Nozomi walks over to Zaku with a smile on her face, and Zaku can't. Who? Oh, I will destroy you. Don't be texting me while I'm working. It wasn't even a text, just a god dang notification. So Nozomi walks over to Zaku with a smile on her face, and Zaku can't move. As she states, I may focus on my Uchiha blood, but I'm still an Uzumaki. Sealing jutsu and tags are her specialty. She pokes him on the forehead. He still can't move. And that's when Hayate notices the kunai that are in Zaku's feet. They're special, just like Shinjiro's. They have sealing marks etched into the blade, only to be activated with the opponent's blood. And she smiles, leaning on Zaku's shoulder, and she exclaims, he's completely paralyzed. He can't move. He focused too much energy on his attacks and wasn't paying attention to his surroundings. And Naruto in the stands comments on this. I know about those kunai. I still prefer using regular sealing tags, but Uncle Shinjiro's are subtle. They just take too long to activate. They really only work on idiots or people who are distracted. And that's it. Nozomi is declared the winner. And she begins to walk to the stands. She's stopped by Naruto, who gives her a high five saying good job. And Itachi, who's severely impressed. The next round begins. Temari versus Kin. And the fight begins. Temari stands there, staring Kin down, before she states, girl, I do not want to waste time on this. You should just quit while you're ahead. Howdy, hey, what's up? It's Hokage with a quick little editor's note. Just want to say that I placed all of these fights under a randomizer wheel. So at the time up, I didn't know who was going to fight who. So all these fights are just placed at random. And some people just got the short end of the stick. So hopefully you enjoy that. A lot of it's random and it does not follow the original shooting exams at all. Begin. Okay, so Kin gets frustrated at that statement, so she throws her Senbon needles with bells attached to the end, attempting to place Temari under a sound-based genjutsu. But Temari ain't got time for that. She swings her fan, blowing the needles back at her, making her attacks pointless before catching her with the wind scythe, lifting her up into the air, slicing her body with her own needles, before using tornado drop, slamming her body down onto the metal end of the fan with the tornado drop jutsu. And during that match, Naruto left to the restroom as he makes a shadow clone that heads towards the Hokage's office, and he returns as soon as the next fight begins. Next round, Lee versus Gaara. I'm not shitting you. I'm not at all. Even the randomizer wheel loved this fight. Go watch it. Like, I swear, I'm telling you the truth. I swear to God. Cross my heart, hope to die. The randomizer wheel actually picked this to be the exact same. But there was one big difference in this fight. The only difference was Sasuke, being a much more respectable character, actually giving fondness to Lee after their quick little sparring match, has grown respect for him. So instead of just Guy jumping down to protect Lee from Gaara's onslaught, It was Guy and Sasuke who both jumped down to help and aid Lee as his unconscious body stood up, attempting to continue the fight. Next round, Kankuro versus Kiba. Whew. The round begins, and Kiba is unsure of what approach to take, but Kankuro is confident. He speaks as he takes the puppet off of his back, but leaving it bounded. Allow me to do you the favor and end this quickly. Kiba gets frustrated. What was that, creep? Kiba then rushes him, slashing at him with his claws. Kankuro attempts to block, but Akamaru bites his arm, preventing him. And Kiba slashes at his face, but instead of blood, Kankuro's face cracks, as if it was made of porcelain. As he laughs, you had your fun. Kiba panics, yelling for Akamaru to let go and get away, but it's too late. Kankuro grabs Akamaru by the throat and then dislodges his arm, jettisoning it towards the wall, pinning the dog. Kiba tries to jump to help his pet, but it's too late as Kankuro's body lifts up like a lifeless husk, wrapping itself around Kiba. It's crushing him. You can hear the bones cracking as he squeezes tighter around Kiba. And when Kiba screams in pain, the real Kankuro busts from the bindings that were left earlier, revealing that the one squeezing Kiba is really the puppet Crow. And Kankuro speaks through a sadistic voice. Now it's my turn. I wonder what will break first, you or your pet. Akamaru yelps in pain as Kankuro and Crow squeeze tighter, and Kiba yells, I give up, ending the match. Next round, Naruto versus Dosu. And Naruto jumps down excited to fight, especially when his opponent is Dosu. Naruto stretches, activating his fox-amped Fuingan, telling Dosu to take his arm out of the sling. I know it's healed. Dosu does so with a smile under his bandages, as he states, last time, I said I admired your spirits, but now I know you're just a fool. You lost to me before. What makes you think this time it'll be different? Naruto smiles, because this time, it's one-on-one. At that second, Naruto throws a barrage of shuriken and kunai at Dosu that he blocks with his gauntlet, using the impact to unleash an ear-piercing sound that makes Naruto reel in pain. Dosu then walks through the scattered weapons, standing above Naruto. Pathetic. It ended exactly how I thought. And at that second, Naruto looks up with a smile as he exclaims, Gotcha! That Naruto poofs into a cloud of smoke. A shadow clone, the real Naruto stands atop the statue, holding a hand sign, and Dosu remembers the boy's jutsu. That's right. You could send shadow clones through your kunai. You used that as a distraction, didn't you? Naruto smiles. Yeah, but that ain't gonna save you. As the kunai release a yellow flash, and Naruto clones barraging Dosu, half with water-style jutsu and the other with wind-style, creating a typhoon with blades slicing at Dosu, as the real Naruto has been forming hand signs the entire time, as he yells, Naruto-style, bladed water dragon, jutsu. As the water dragon crashes down on Dosu, it is coated in the blades and shuriken that Naruto unleashed onto the floor, knocking Dosu unconscious. And he is declared the winner. Next round, Sasuke versus Misumi. And legitimately, the randomizer wheel, I guess, liked this fight too. It's the same one that happened in canon. It's the weird leaf guy with the purple bandana. It goes just like canon. Wild. Next round, Karin versus TenTen. The fight starts with a little talking as Karin activates her Fuingan. As TenTen jumps in the air, launching a barrage of kunai, forcing Karin to unleash a water-style jutsu, Water Wall, to defend herself. Karin then steps into the waves, disappearing into them, using hidden in water jutsu. She can't be seen. She shoots water-style Water Fang bullets that can't be predicted, coming from multiple locations, pelting TenTen. And as she lands on top of the water, using her chalk feet! I don't know if it's funny or sad that I can't resist doing that. Karin then comes out of the water, and she's hit with a kunai. But Karin then turns into a water clone. And at that second, multiple water clones of Karin form from the water. And the real Karin uses the third ring of the Fumingan to place seals on each of the clones as it gets closer to TenTen. She uses Rising Twin Dragons to avoid the paralysis jutsu seals that were on the clones. She then jumps into the air with the Rising Twin Dragons, throwing a huge amount of weapons to destroy all of the water clones. And the real Karin grabs Karin's scrolls and pulls them into the water. TenTen falls with her scrolls into the water, and the water is dissipated. And TenTen is on her back with one of her own weapons at her throat. And Karin speaks. Hey, TenTen, you fought well, but at some point you should have noticed your attacks lacked any effect. You should have changed your strategy halfway through the fight. Karin is declared the winner. And next round is announced. Shikamaru versus the other sound ninja disguised as the leaf ninja. And I forgot his name, so I'm sorry about that. Begin. The sound ninja rushes Shikamaru, who just uses the shadow possession jutsu dumbfoundedly, as he exclaims that I can't believe you've done this. Shikamaru then begins to look around for maybe it's a shadow clone, maybe it's a trick, but no, it's not. He forces the sound ninja to drop his kunai and kick it towards Shikamaru, who picks it up and places it towards the ninja's throat. As the match is called and Shikamaru is the winner, he can't shake the feeling that this was strange. He walks up to him. Are you sure you're from the Leaf? How have you not heard of the Nara clan? You should have known about our jutsu. That was a really dumb move. I mean, I'm not gonna turn down an easy victory, but this is strange. Shikamaru begins to walk towards the stands. And Naruto walks over to him, congratulating him on his win, and also slipping a note in his hand. And that's when the next round is called. Hinata versus Sakura. And, okay, no cap. The wheel was mean on this one. The wheel was real mean on this one. So, who do you think would win? Part 1 Hinata, who fought Neji to the last breath and also has been training with Nagato, Karin, and Nozomi. Or Part 1 Sakura, whose only useful member on her team is Shino. And she doesn't like to train yet, so yeah, Hinata wins. Hinata breaks this girl. She wins hands down. The wheel has spoken. Next round. Oh my god. Neji versus Ino. Do you want me to explain this one? Do you want to know who wins? Really? So yeah, the wheel did Ino dirty here. I like Ino as a character. I think that she definitely has a very interesting jutsu with the mind transfer, but Neji Byakugan can see it coming a mile away, so she wouldn't be able to get off her only effective jutsu. So Neji wins, hands down. Last round, Choji versus Shino. Choji gains some distance and uses the human boulder, charging Shino, but Shino dodges, dropping bugs on the ground that Choji rolls over, and some he crushes, but others cling to him. It's draining his chakra. Eventually, Choji is forced to stop rolling, having no chakra left, falling to his knees before Shino. And Shino was declared the winner. The first round of the Chunin exams is concluded, and the young ninja are given 3 months to prepare for the final round. And Naruto's clone reaches his father. And in his father's office is Minato, Fugaku, Shinjiro, and Jiraiya. Minato questions why his son is here. Naruto tells him that he's just a clone, and Shinjiro smiles, cutting between the two, excitedly asking if his daughter won his fight. Fugaku grabs Jiraiya's collar, telling him to compose himself. As Jiraiya says, "It's good to see you again, Naruto." And Naruto runs up to hug his grandfather. Minato smiles, asking what his son needs. And Naruto's clone collects himself, telling his dad that in the forest of death, my team was attacked by a weird guy who uses snakes as a weapon. He fought, and as we fought, his skin peeled off like he shed it. And he bit Nozomi and Sasuke. At the time, I thought he was just a strong ninja, so I grabbed my team and we retreated. But that same ninja was a sound jonin. Watching the matches. That's all. Jiraiya and Minato begin to discuss as Naruto's clone begins to dissipate. As they talk, Jiraiya decides to head to the Forest of Death to investigate with Anko. And back at the Chunin exams, Naruto receives the information that he learned while at the Hokage's office and also understands the secret of the Shadow Clone Jutsu now, that he can receive information from his Shadow Clones. He wants to go and greet his uncle with a big hug and in person, but he has two matters to address first. First, he walks over to his team. He pulls in Nozomi and Sasuke close with a smile. Congratulations, you both fought hard. But now you need to tell Itachi-sensei about those weird marks on your neck. If anything, if Itachi hasn't noticed already, Uncle Fugaku and Shinjiro are real. It's best to get it off your chest now. They sigh and agree with Naruto and begin to tell Itachi, while Naruto leaves to talk with Shikamaru when he's approached by Hinata and stopped by Neji. Naruto Namikaze, your skill is commendable, but I can't stand you or your counterfeit eyes. Naruto tries to ignore the strange statement from Neji, attempting to change the subject. Neji Hyuga, right? You're Hinata's cousin. You had an amazing match. You and Hinata carry the Hyuga name with pride. Hearing that, Neji activates his Byakugan out of frustration. Don't you dare belittle me. Naruto's confused. What did he say to set Neji off? He's not good at situations like this. He gets kind of anxious at direct confrontation if it's not a fight, so he tries to de-escalate the situation. Hey man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Forget it. Neji interjects, deactivating his Byakugan. As he states, sometimes I forget you're nothing but the posthumous child of the Hokage. Both clans that make you whole barely hold any merit. The Namikaze's only crowning achievement is your widowed father, and the Uzumaki as a whole are far less impressive. Only able to produce a half-decent Jinchuriki, like you or your mother. And at that second, Naruto's anxiety is drowned out by a wave of rage, his eyes red with hate as he grabs Neji by his collar. Say whatever you want about me, but if you ever disrespect my clans or my parents again, I'll tear you to shreds. Naruto throws a punch that Neji doesn't even try to dodge. As the punch connects to the wall behind Neji's head, the wall cracks and Naruto pulls his bloodied fist away, letting Neji go, walking towards Shikamaru. When Nozomi and Sasuke and Hinata and Itachi call out to Naruto, he gently puts his hand up, stopping and forcing a smile, saying that he's fine. He just wants to talk to Shikamaru right now. The two walk out to the park. They sit down and Shikamaru says, "Look, I know you want to talk to me about my match, but if I don't have something to concentrate on, I'll fall asleep. So just wait here." Shikamaru walks away and returns with the shogi board, and Naruto looks frustrated. "Shogi? For real?" "Shut up. I know your dad taught you how to play. Plus, we used to play all the time when our dads were having meetings." "Yeah, but you always win. Stop whining and set up your side of the board." Naruto does, and as he's finished, Naruto makes the first move and begins to speak. "I already told my dad, but there's something weird happening with our tuning exams. I'm sure you noticed it." Shikamaru makes his move. "Yeah, the guy I fought was wearing a leaf headband, but he obviously wasn't from the leaf." Naruto makes his move. "Did you take notice of that sound, Jonin?" Shikamaru makes his move and nods. Naruto makes his move and continues. "He's the same one who attacked my team and sent those ninja after me while I was exhausted. And I think the ninja you and Sasuke fought both worked for him." Shikamaru makes his move. "Well, how do you know that?" Naruto pauses and activates his Fuingan. "I've been using these eyes for a while now. And looking at the entire village, it's almost rare. So rare it's impossible for people to have the exact same chakra signature." This is Shikamaru's first time seeing the Fuingan up close. He takes this opportunity to study the eyes. Then he makes his move on the shogi board. Okay, so say this sound Jonin really did infiltrate our exams and implant Ninja with the seal. He would have to be extremely confident in his seal, especially with the Uzumaki clan still in the village. Naruto makes his move on the shogi board, and he continues to speak. Yeah, about that. The thing is, I tried to remove it. The Fumingan's third ring has the ability to plant and remove all sealing jutsu, but my eye couldn't do it. There's something about the seal, it's really above my level. I don't think that it can be removed through natural means. Shikamaru stays silent. He makes his move and wins the game of shogi, and Naruto groans. It'll be a drag to think about it further, so I'll ask my dad to see if he knows anything else. Then I'll let you know, Naruto. Naruto then goes back to his home. Waiting for him is Jiraiya. He almost forgot Jiraiya was back in the village after so much had happened till there. And that's when Naruto gets serious. So, Dad's still working. Jiraiya walks up to his nephew, throwing a punch at him, and Naruto dodges, returning with a kick. As Jiraiya blocks it, he speaks. Yeah, he'll be working a lot more lately. With the information you gave us, and with my inspection of the forest, I confirmed that Orochimaru is still in the village, and he's not working alone. Naruto repeats the name Orochimaru to himself as Jiraiya continues. So, while your dad is busy, he wants me to train you. Meanwhile, Sasuke is also training for the Chunin exams. With Itachi, when Shinjiro and Nozomi show up, Sasuke turns to face them. What do you want? And when Sasuke says this, Nozomi activates her curse mark state 1 and rushes Sasuke, and overwhelms him. As Sasuke gets up, he's frustrated, but more so curious. Nozomi smiles as she points at Shinjiro, her dad. My dad cut the connection of this mark with Orochimaru. Itachi is surprised. He walks over to Shinjiro and says, can you do the same for Sasuke? Shinjiro smiles. Nozomi cut her training short just for me to help my little nephew. He says as he pinches Sasuke's cheek, and Sasuke knocks him away, growing more agitated, but he says, what's the benefit of having this procedure, Uncle Shinjiro? Shinjiro smiles. Well, as you most likely seen, you gain some control over the power. It stops being Orochimaru's power and starts being your own. Sasuke frowns as he yells. That's not all, and you know it, Uncle. I used this power myself. When Nozomi attacked me before, she was nowhere near the same level of strength she showed in the forest. Shinjiro laughs as he activates his Fumingan. So you've seen that as well. The Sharingan is truly amazing. You're right, Sasuke. However, she's not weaker because I severed the connection. She's weaker because of how the seal works. Sasuke is confused, asking what do you mean? So Shinjiro continues. Your Sharingan, nor my Fumingan, have the ability to seize Senjutsu. However, when I was working on her seal, I asked Minato to come with me since it involved Orochimaru, and he identified the power the seal was gathering as Senjutsu. Sasuke and Itachi are invested, sitting silently as Shinjiro continues. So, your cursed seal naturally gathers Senjutsu, a skill that normally takes you years to master. I couldn't just erase it, so I altered it by erasing the connection with Orochimaru. And when I did, the Senjutsu that was tainted by Orochimaru's chakra disappeared. But the seal continued to gather Senjutsu, but pure Senjutsu, but at a slower rate. And since Jiraiya is here in the village, I was hoping he could give you two some tips on Sage Energy. The two's eyes light up. Sasuke takes the procedure. Shinjiro takes his Fumingan and places his hands over Sasuke's shoulder where the curse mark is, and warns him that it's gonna hurt. I'm removing Orochimaru's essence from your body. Basically, he's an invasive entity onto your body, seeped with poison. When I'm done, your bones will ache, but your head will feel a lot clearer. He does the procedure, and Sasuke reels in pain, but it only lasts a moment. And before they leave, Shinjiro says he'll be back in a month, and they'll find Jiraiya together for Senjutsu training. Nozomi leaves with her dad, and Sasuke continues to train with Itachi. Nozomi is on the Uzumaki ceiling hut with her father as he speaks to her. I've noticed your growth, Nozomi, and I'm proud, but I need to ask you, are you ready for your Fumingan? She holds a determined face, no smile emitting. Dad, On my first mission, I thought we were doing so well. Then Sasuke almost died, and Naruto had to let the fox demon inside him take control, just to protect us. And I was useless. Then in the Forest of Death, we were attacked by Orochimaru. Me and Sasuke got taken out, leaving Naruto to protect us again. I'm tired of needing help. I want to be the one protecting them. So yes, I'm ready for this procedure. Shinjiro smiles, saying, "That's my girl. You remind me more of your mother every day." So Shinjiro summons Akane, who is Karin's mom, by the way. Nozomi jumps to hug her, calling her Auntie Akane. She rubs her hair, saying that she's interested to see what an Uchiha and an Uzumaki dojutsu combined can make. They begin the procedure. Shinjiro grabs Nozomi's head. Nozomi extends her adamantine chakra chains and wraps them around her father's arm, while she bites on Akane's arm to be healed, as the chakra drain for the Fuingan is immense. She'll need to be completely replenished, and Shinjiro begins to etch a seal on Nozomi's brain. She screams in agony, reeling in pain. The seal etching takes a total of 30 minutes, and when it's finished, Nozomi passes out due to the pain and exhaustion, and Shinjiro carries her home and lets her mother Nayori wrap her daughter's eyes. And for 3 days later, Nozomi awakes. Feeling refreshed, she runs into the mirrors, taking a deep breath, calming her heart, as she activates her dojutsu for the first time, but it's just a Sharingan. She's a bit disappointed, so she continues to try, and eventually, her Sharingan begins to bleed, and her eyes are beginning to change. The red Sharingan is dyed a mystic gold color, and the two Tomo on her Sharingan have moved to each of the rings on the Fuingan. She dubs this the Char Fuingan, and she can't wait to test it out. So the next morning, she wakes up and runs outside to start testing out her new ability, and she sees her mother and her father waiting for her. Her mother holding a sword, and her father his special kunai. They both hand her these as gifts, and they train. Shinjiro is charging wind chakra into his throat, and she can see this. She knows what jutsu it is, so she counters it, and they both yell, "Wind style! Breakthrough!" Her mother is now running behind her with the sword as the two jutsus clash. She has the ability to see chakra nature with her Fuingan, and their Sharingan's ability to track movement. She's able to place a paralysis seal perfectly on the ground where her mother is running. Without breaking her concentration, she then can see her father gathering chakra in his eyes. She jumps out of the way. She can see her father's chakra nature moving behind her. So she says that this is Naruto's dad's move. But she can see it. She can track it. So she's able to shoot a fireball where her father is going to come from. And it hits him. Now her mother had broke free from the ceiling jutsu, shooting fireballs behind her, catching her off guard, revealing the blind spots of her new dojutsu. She smiles, getting excited. She sees her mother running with a sword coated in flames. With her Sharingan abilities, she copies her mother's movements, matching her mom blow for blow. When her father, Shinjiro, begins to throw kunai at her, amped with wind chakra nature, she's able to see and copy this, so she does a backflip away from her mother to gain some distance and throws the exact same attack at her father. They clash and cancel out. Nozomi's mother, Nayori, then does a phoenix flower jutsu, and her father does wind-style bullets, amping her attack. But Nozomi, she can see through it. She's able to predict the attack and effortlessly dodge through the volley of fire and wind, placing a seal behind her parents as she approaches. Using the Char Fuingan, the seal reads wind, and when she's close, she jumps in front of them, shooting a massive dragon flame bomb jutsu that forces them to retreat and back up, but they trip her wind seal, and the two jutsus clash and create a massive inferno that catches her parents off guard. So Shinjiro grabs his wife, Nayori, and protects her from the brunt of the damage with a wind-style divine protection of wind jutsu. And as the inferno settles down, Shinjiro smiles as he walks up to his daughter, calling her amazing. She blushes as he pats her head, and she pants from the chakra exhaustion. She looks at her dad and says, "Dad, I know you're always busy, but can you make some more time to come home? I really miss having you." Shinjiro laughs, saying, "I'll try, Nozomi. But for now, let's get something to eat. We need to get your body used to your new eyes. And you can't fight on an empty stomach." Nozomi's mom, Naori, adds, plus, I want to spend time with my family that doesn't involve my hair getting singed. And I think that's where I'm going to end the chapter for now. And you made it to the end. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you love it? What's your rate it? That's kind of fun. But seriously, though, how'd you like the chapter? Sorry that it's taking so long to come out. As I said before, a lot of stuff happened. I don't want to go into too much detail. But just know that I made it through it. Chapters are coming back. I'm going to have some stuff ready for y'all when I leave for the army. But there are some things that I do want to say. Like, for instance, I like video games, and I want to play video games again. I haven't played a game in a while. Well, I haven't played a game that I can sit down and enjoy in a while. And I kind of want to, be productive while I'm doing it. So, how would y'all feel about me streaming video games? It obviously wouldn't be on this channel because this channel doesn't have anything to do with video games. It's all about anime. I might play some anime-based games on this channel, but other than that, I might have like a separate gaming channel, or I might do live streams where y'all can just, sit down and watch, and I can have some level of communication with y'all directly. Respond to your live comments and chats and stuff like that, so that we can have some stuff. We have like a little connection going back and forth. You know what I'm talking about? You're smart. But other than that, I do want to say that I love y'all. Thanks for coming through, and I hope you're excited for me to get into my favorite part of the day, the commenter call-outs. Lego. And our first comment comes from Aaron Saim, where he says, we're part 6 though. Part 6 here. Part 6 here, part 6 here now. You get part 6, you enjoy. You enjoy part 6. Yes. That was racist as fuck. I am so sorry. I don't know why I went Chinese with that one, but I did. All right. So next comment comes from Would the Uzumaki Clan Survive Part 2, A Child's Dream? And it's from Anime Kage. Love it. He says, I love how it's sad. Then he says, fucking hell. I remember that too. It was a sad part that I put in the scene. And then I think somebody texted me, or I got frustrated and I forgot to cut it out, or I went, fucking hell. Damn it. Stop noticing my screw ups. You make me feel bad. Not really. I honestly keep calling them out. All right. Next comment comes from Would the Uzumaki Clan Survive Part 1? And this is actually like a good critique. And it's from Oswaldo Alvarado, who says, couldn't Nagato save Kushina? And honestly, no. Nagato at this point in time was an Anbu for the Leaf, so he was out of the village. I didn't state it before because when I introduced this character, I wanted it to be like fresh. He's an Anbu. He was an Anbu before Itachi and was with Kakashi, and they were both out of the village at the time. So Nagato could have held the beast inside of him, but it just wasn't. He wasn't there at the time, so didn't have any applicable Uzumaki that could have done it. Next comment comes from Bray's Arts and Crafts, who says, who else heard him say, baby, don't hurt me in the background? Okay, yes. Okay, so, yeah, okay, I did do that. I couldn't resist. You know when you just have, like, that really keen moment where Itachi was saying, where he's asking, I think he was asking Nagato or he was asking Minato and Kushina, what is love? Because it was at the point where Itachi was having the existential crisis about himself. And when I said, when I had Itachi ask him, what is love? In the background, I felt like I had to do it. But I set my microphone up. I got into like a real jazzy stance. And I go, baby, don't hurt me no more. Just because I love that song. It's so old. He also says, the boy likes cats, which is a quote from it where I couldn't find any other picture from Itachi as a child when he didn't have cat ears or when he wasn't like in a fighting pose. I didn't want Itachi in a fighting pose at that moment. So I just had to, exercise it and say, boy like cats. Boy like cats. All right, and let's go to the last comment, which is from Beneficial Disciple, who says, I like how you added Naori. She's one of my favorite Uchiha, and honestly, mine too. I like that she ended that Uchiha insurrection that was happening between them. I also really liked her Sharingan abilities. Not her Sharingan abilities. She didn't really show much, but I loved her. I loved how she was the arbiter of the Izanagi or the Izanami. It's one of the two. I forget on top of my head, I forget which one does. But I know like that she's the one that ended the war, and I wanted to have her character be portrayed pretty well. So I had her great granddaughter, who's also named Naori, in the series as Shinjiro's wife, and Nozomi's mother, so that it could feel like she had a discernible place in Naruto's lore, so that I wasn't just pulling her out the blue. I didn't want to just pull these characters out the blue, basically. But other than that, with Naori's standing, I hope you can see where I'm going to take Nozomi's character as what she's going to be as she gets older. Other than, love stuck on Naruto. All right, so that's done. Comment to call out is over. Thank you all for commenting. I love it, and I always want to give some recognition to it. This section might not happen when I'm at the army. My friend Fat says he's going to take over it for me, look at some of your comments for me, and call them out for me, which will be awesome. I want you guys to continue to comment and continue to feel like you have a voice in this, because you do. If it wasn't for y'all, this would not continue, and I'm happy that people love and enjoy the content that I'm pushing out. So please continue to comment, continue to like, continue to subscribe, and enjoy the stuff that I'm putting out, because I enjoy putting it out for y'all. Other than that, I do want your opinions on the gaming channel. I want to know if you think that'll be a waste of time, or if you just don't care and just prefer me to do like a regular live stream where I just talk to y'all there and I'm writing the story while we're talking, so that y'all can have either input on the story directly, or if y'all could have, just personal interaction with me as I'm commenting stuff, and we can enjoy a game together as I do, like, I don't know, I've always wanted to try a Pokemon Nuzlocke. I could do a Nuzlocke. That sounds fun for me. Also like to play horror games. A little pushy right here. I get scared pretty goddamn easily in video games. Not in real life. I don't know why. I think in video games I feel vulnerable because I'm just in my home chilling, and I don't expect nothing to just jump out at me. That's why I don't play FNAF at all, because I'm not scared of FNAF 1 and 2 or 3. But I don't know why I feel this sense of existential dread when I play 4. It's the worst. I think because I'm so heavy on sound, and that game is also so heavy on sound, using sound as a weapon against you, and it scares me. It really does. I also play Subnautica a lot. God damn, I hate Leviathans. I hate them so bad. If you play Subnautica and you know what a Leviathan is, you know why I hate them. It's the worst. And I think, we can have some fun. I'll let y'all give me challenges while I play the game, so that y'all can affect how horrible my life is. But yeah, seriously though, tell me your opinions on that stuff. I want to know, and I'm really curious. Oh, we play Minecraft too. I don't care. Honestly, I just want to play games again. I feel like that'll be fun. Other than that, you know what it is. Like, comment, and subscribe on Hokage. Out.
Nobody speak, nobody get choked. If you run the homie, gonna get smoked. No time for the lame ass jokes. I'm the GOAT. You a gringo when that story's been told. I make money moves, controlling every view. Oh no, you got hella proof, but no one's helping you. What's wrong? Now you on your own, you really want to smoke? Oh no, Chico really done did wrong. What's wrong? The yellow meta in the sky list, bro. Keep talking crazy, I might go post though. Always trouble when they go too far. Nobody messing me familiar. Father.